world record. Martinelli goes, Neuer's out of his goal. Martinelli shooting in here. This will be 3 for Arsenal.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our preview to the 2026 FIFA World Cup right here on DOTT. I remain Anthony Uche, and I will take you through Group B today. Well, in Group B, you have the likes of Qatar, you have the likes of Canada, you have the likes of Switzerland, and of course, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Of course, we start no other place other than from the home country. Co-hosts Canada qualified for the World Cup, and this will be their second consecutive World Cup. First time ever. They had never made the World Cup for a long time until 2022, and having made it in 2022, the Maple Leaf team has yet again qualified, although this time around as co-hosts alongside the United States of America and Mexico. Led by Jesse Marsh, of course, who's American-born, and of course, Captain Alphonso Davies. The Maple Leaf boys will be out to make an impression this time around. I just mentioned one of the players, and by far the star man in the team, Alphonso Davies, but also they have the likes of Torian Buchanan. They have the likes of Liam Miller. They have the likes of Jonathan Davis, who plays for Juventus. And if you put all of these talents and all of these stars together in the same team, like I said, they will surely make a splash this time around, playing most of their games in Vancouver and Toronto at home as well. And then, of course, second in the group, you have Bosnia and Herzegovina. Bosnia and Herzegovina qualified for their first World Cup since they did so in 2014. They played in the playoffs in 2010, if you remember, lost, unfortunately, to Portugal, but made it to the 2014 World Cup, and since then, there has been no Bosnia and Herzegovina at a World Cup until 2026, led by talismanic figure, the ageless Edin Dzeko, and the manager, of course, Barbares, who, like I said, took them through the most excruciating qualification process. If you know how hard it is to qualify through the European playoffs, they did not only qualify through that process, but they came up against Wales national team in the semi-final and had to beat mighty football giants in the country of Italy. So defeating Italy in the qualification process would undoubtedly boost the confidence and the morale of that Bosnia and Herzegovina team. And then, of course, in the group, you also have, in Group B, Qatar. Qatar, after qualifying for the 2022 World Cup as host nations, a lot of people questioned whether or not they actually had what it takes to qualify for a World Cup that they were not hosting. And yes, is the answer. They proved a lot of doubters wrong. And this time around, Qatar qualified on merit following the Asian Football Confederation qualification process, and they made it to the World Cup final. And then, of course, you have Switzerland in the team. Switzerland have been a hallmark or a trademark of sustainability, steadiness, and resilience. And this time around, they will be without household names like Jan Sommer in goal or Xherdan Shaqiri up front. But of course, you still expect that the talismanic captain of Sunderland in the English Premier League, in the person of Granit Xhaka, will lead this team to a very, very good World Cup performance. Switzerland are not the type of team you expect to go on to win the World Cup, but at the very least, you know they are going there to be a competitive force. Thank you very much for tuning in for the Group B edition of the World Cup preview right here on DOTT TV. I remain Anthony Uche.